Conversation, 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 conversation. Life's journey. Hey, conversation, 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 conversation. Let's talk about it.
Hello, everyone. You're welcome to Conversations. And I'm your regular host, Mojisola Isaacs. And today I have we have a very interesting topic today, one that will excite everyone. And I have a brother, a commando also from 85 sets.
Yes.
But I'm going to allow him introduce himself. You're welcome to Conversations. Ugochukwu, right? Yes. Welcome to Conversations. Please introduce yourself to us, what you do, where you live, and the house you were in command, just so that everybody can remember you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, it's a pleasure to be in this platform, and you're doing something very good. Bonding and teaching at the same time, which is great. I'm Dr. Okonkwo Richard Ugochukwu. I'm a commando, 85 set. I was in Octopus House while I was there. Although during my final year, I went to Flying Horse House. I had friends there, so I stayed there, permanently stayed there, you know. There's some bit of rascal behavior, you know how it is. Had my friends there, so I just went there and moved in and stayed with them. And I was a senior, so nobody could do anything about that really till I finished. Okay, I'm a practicing medical doctor, currently the MD of Green Clinic. I'm also a co-founder with my wife of Keeping Marriage Alive initiative. We live in Lagos. Me and my wife live in Lagos.
Okay, that's wonderful. So you're gonna tell us. You said it's 85 sets.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit about your academic background.
Yeah, while I was in command, I was one of the typical bookworms, you know. For people in my set, they will know Samuel Okoro and all the guys as Professor B. We are among the top three, really. So I was basically a bookworm. But I had a rascally part of it where we go to the joints outside school to eat, you know. They call it in slang, omiobo. That's the name of the joints. Sweet food, you know. So we'll cross over, do some rascally things, go to the villages, take fruits, you know, and the soldiers will be chasing us. So that was just a little bit about, more of a bookworm, but a little bit of awkward fun, if I may put it that way, crossing the fence and doing some bit of that towards my senior years, really.
Okay.
That led me to moving in with my friends at Flying Horse House and stayed there permanently and, you know, all kind of things. Yeah.
So where did you study after command?
Where did I?
The schools you went after command.
Okay, after command, I went straight to, okay, yes. From command, I didn't go straight into university. I went to Federal Government College, Janiki, for lower 6. While doing the lower 6, I did JAMB again. Then I got in for the course I wanted, medicine. I went to College of Unilag for my medicine. Then we finished, yes. Then I did my housemanship and all that. Then I went into general medical practice, really. Yeah, and that I've been doing till now.
Do you have any special area?
Oh, well, none.
Okay.
No, not for now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us. I mean, one of the things I noticed as you came in was you talked about it also, that you and your wife are into, you have an initiative called Keeping Marriage Alive.
Yes.
So how did that come about?
You see, at times you get into marriage thinking you know so much till a curveball comes and opens you up and exposes you. It actually happened I think about our 7th year, after being married for 7 years, you know. So we had conflict, we actually fought, you know. So we were at the brink of divorce. We had called families to end it. I didn't want to divorce, but she was fed up with that. So her mom was there, my mom was on phone. We had representatives in our house then, so they were about to dissolve it. So they asked me, did you beat her? I said, yes, justifying why I beat her. So they now asked her, what does she have to say? Say her own part of the story. So she just took 1 minute, went to the room. She told me later she went to the room and prayed. I was too angry to think of anything. I didn't want to be divorced, but it wasn't solely on me now. So she prayed and she came out. They now asked, okay, what do you have to say? She said she's here to apologize on our behalf for getting everybody around here. She apologizes. So one by one, all the panelists that came went away. So from within me, I was so moved, touched with that. I had never seen anybody being right or someone that was wronged apologize, and mediating. I actually cried. I was sobbing and sobbing and sobbing. So that moved me. So we decided to give it a second chance, really, but not without going through counseling. It meant both of us didn't know the way forward, and we needed help now. It was obvious. All my medical studies, well, couldn't cope with this one. Yeah, I mean, it dawned on me clear that I didn't know the way forward, truly. So she suggested we go for counseling in our local church where we attend, Covenant Christian Center. So we went for 6 weeks, weekends, 6 weekends, yeah. So we went, and it was quite exposing, and I realized that I didn't know a lot. So we learned that, and God kept teaching us through various means. So he said one of the conditions for doing things, miracles like this, because it was actually a miracle, truly, is that we will have to give back to people. As at then, we didn't have people who could meet and see our problems and they won't condemn us and show us and be real to us. People like to marriage, they like to package. Everybody's smiling. You're wondering, is it only your own marriage that is getting crazy like this? People were not real. We didn't have such access to such people, maybe. And there are still very few people that will open up their marriages to you. So went through the whole class. God put it in our heart to start that initiative, keeping marriage alive, to teach people how to do marriage the right way, God's way, and have the benefits of it. It mustn't be full of struggles or thorns or whatever. So that's basically what started it.
There's this myth, I'll call it a myth because you probably will prove me wrong. One of the things you said is that you actually beat her.
Yes, I did.
So they say once a beater, a white beater, always a white beater. So is that true?
No, not true. But there's a tendency. At times, tendency comes up. Actually, before I got married to her, I vowed that I won't touch any woman. I was so surprised. Anger is, is such a bad thing. So I beat her, but there and then I vowed not to do that again, and God has helped me. But it's not always true. No, you have to learn self-control. You have to learn that whoever you are in, that your spouse is not the enemy. She might have done things that are wrong or things that provoked you, but she is not the enemy. You need to detach the two. The person you are in the same boat together, but what she did at that point was not was inimical to you, so to say. So you have to look at conflicts properly. If you don't look at it properly, you constantly go angry and mad. So that made the difference. And God's grace, prayers, a lot of things, and when we understood each other better. I think one of the things that caused the main wahala was that we didn't even date, really, me and my wife. I met her within 1 week, I proposed. Yeah. So we are bonding and learning and loving all together. And it's quite a big mix to chew within that time. So I think that's caused some bit of quarrels too. We didn't really know, but we really were interested in each other, but we didn't know. You still have to blend. So that's puts on.
Okay, so you say it was love at first sight.
No, not love. Not love. I won't say love. Both of us were not in love that way, but we are committed to the institution of marriage, and we really wanted to be married. And we looked at each other. We can work. I could work with her. She could work with me. That kind of a thing. And we said, let's go about it.
Wow, that's really interesting. 1 week.
Yes.
You were not ready for any nonsense. You were not ready for long relationship or something.
Okay, well, I was thinking in my own thoughts, time is going. What am I waiting for, really? I've had a couple of relationships, nothing serious, but it dawned on me that there's no perfect anybody there. you know. And I prayed about it. I'm a Christian. I'm a practicing Christian. So I prayed, and I was led that she was the one. I said, I haven't known her. Maybe just a short courtship, but even I was led that propose now. Propose now. You know when you are led by the Spirit, you need to follow through. You don't just stop at that. Left me, I waited 4 months in courtship to know her better and all that. So I was relaxing. Said, no, propose now. Unfortunately, I didn't know she had 10 suitors already. I didn't know. So if I had delayed it the way I wanted, she'll probably be one of my friends now. Or I'll be one of her friends rather. So with that leading, I moved forward and I had to propose, and I don't regret it looking back, because I wouldn't have missed what was someone I was supposed to share life with, just like that, on something careless. So it's not my own making as it were, but my leading, and I felt strongly about that. And she too, she prayed and she got the nod. And she didn't answer yes immediately. No. She answered yes, I think after a month, on my birthday actually. So it was like a birthday gift to me. You know, women and their romantics, they can be very romantic. That was a good one. But we didn't know we are going through the valley of the shadow of death because we know each other. You know. Okay, but it was fun.
That's nice. That's a very interesting story, really. Very, very interesting story. And I'm happy you responded quickly, because somebody else would have, you know.
No, when I know what I want and I'm let, no, that I can be firm on that. I can really be firm on
That's nice. Okay, so now tell us, it's been how long now?
17 years.
Wow.
It will be 17 years this year, yes, 17.
So you have seen 10 years after the first 7 years.
Yes.
What would you say? Can you compare the two, and what has been the main things that have changed?
Okay. One, I've come to know that we are different. Me and my spouse, we are different. I've come to study and understand her better. I've come to learn to work with her as a team better. I've also come to, what else will I say now? Care and love, and come to be more considerate. Unlike the first 7 years, I didn't know her. And I came with the same African tradition of the man being the head and you dictate what happens. And that met some stiff opposition, unbelievable opposition, because my wife is the opinionated type and she's quite smart and bright. And quite frankly, it's unfair to want her to just comply with everything I say. It's not as if I was so smart or I know all. It needs to be teamwork. So that caused a lot of friction, and then also I can talk carelessly. I can be quite, now. My mouth can really, in fact, there's a time we joked about, I said my mouth is like an atomic bomb, weapon of mass destruction. I can say things to you that will get you very angry quickly, just to put you off, But I've learned to temper that, to say pleasant things, loving things. I think understanding is the word, if I choose a word that makes a difference. Understanding her, understanding what marriage means. Because I actually thought you have your way. That's what I thought. As a man, you should have your way, And my relationships didn't help me, because then it was just girlfriend and boyfriend. And that is a total different ball game. I didn't even understand. And we're all 5 boys, so we didn't have a girl to even understand how girls behave. As guys, I can go to Ibadan and say, guys, I'm at Ibadan. You can't try that in a relationship with a lady. That could be the end of it. Just by that statement. You understand? So I didn't know all that. I just went raw and thinking I knew it. And when they handed me the marriage certificate, I said, well, let them give it to me. Let me go and make the most of it. Only to find out that it's a total different thing. But understanding over the while, understanding her thoughts, her likes, and yielding towards it. I'm not totally there, but we're working, we understand each other, working together. Even in conflicts, you even look at it that, what causes conflict? Let's look at it. If I would just be angry, then why are you resisting what I want? And a bit of childishness then too. Immaturity, childishness. So all that's really harmed us, if I may put it that way.
So what are the things, with your, with the initiative, what are the things the common things you come across when you talk to people, when you talk to couples?
Yeah, I normally say it as a joke that we've made all the mistakes possible within that short time. No, and truly, because I was like a novice, I made all manner. So when people come with some situations and I've done, I just don't do that one. That's the wrong way. Don't even try. We can lead them and show them that we're not perfect. We're not in this because we are perfect. We're in it because we've made the mistakes and overcome it by God's grace. That this is not peculiar to you. It happens in marriages, but how you handle it is what will determine where it leads you to. Then we've seen people, the problems in marriage are diverse. So finances, particularly with women having the upper hand now, providing for the home, and the man not being considerate, wanting to still be the full head while not providing anything. You understand? Sexual, libido and all those problems, women having to have a way to satisfy themselves outside the marriage, incidentally, childbearing, child training. It's been diverse. In-laws, communication. In fact, that was our own problem. Me and my wife, communication actually. I wanted what I wanted and I'll just say it flatly, not even listening to what she, So diverse of problems is so diverse. As I put it, marriage is a school that you never graduate from. Once you've gotten it, there's a new change. Your spouse changes, circumstance changes, so you keep learning and studying your spouse. If you want to go there, keep learning about your spouse, understand and working with her forever. When that is over, your children are there. You still pay attention. After that, your grandchildren. So it's like a school with a lot of responsibilities. If you embrace those responsibilities, you make the most of it.
Okay, so if you want to advise, just now the ball is in your court right now.
Yeah.
I want you to, how do you keep a marriage after 10 years? You have been married for 17 years. How do you keep, I heard that after a few years, the drive, the fun, everything just dries down. The sexual part of it is, the man feels, the woman looks big now. Or how do you handle how do you keep the marriage going? Because yours is keeping marriage alive. How?
Yes. It's a very important question. Very, very important question. In fact, I remember early in our marriage, even while praying to God, I said, how do you stay with one woman? Won't it be boring? Won't it be routine? And, I was really scared. But surprisingly, my spouse is such a wonderful woman. I must give her credit for that. She's done majority of the work. I could say, putting it lightly, even 80-85% of our home. She was more mature than me, definitely. But the whole thing is this. There's a routine. You go to work, you take care of the kids. That's all those. You must break away from that routine very often. Recreate such things. Dating. I remember do things together, interest together apart from work. Like me and my wife, we do salsa, we dance salsa, create scenes. Yes, we do salsa, create scenes in the bedroom. We dance for each other, striptease. We also have put in a method about it. Every 2 weeks, we go out. This week, my wife will choose where she will take me to. The next one, I'll choose, and I'll do something that she likes, not what I like. She will do something I like that she knows I like. That way, it helps you understudy your spouse and do something that will bring out fun for your spouse. You understand? And that's the whole basis of marriage, really. It's not about you. I didn't know that. So I thought it was what I wanted. I wanted someone that would cook good food, but it's not about you. It's about your spouse. Not truly. If you can get this, you've gotten half of it. It's about your spouse. At times when I come to marriage, you say, I want a slim lady looking beautiful like a model, that can cook, that is good on bed. You're talking all about you. You're not even saying what you're bringing to the table. Before you know it, you forget what you're supposed to bring to the table. You won't even train yourself, add value to yourself to bring. Do you understand? So let's get back to that. So it's about the mentality must shift. It's not about you. It's about what you are bringing to add value to your spouse, to make your spouse more comfortable. So she will work with you, and being the head, you need to really do more, much more. But we don't think one-sided. What we bring, the finances. You should be thinking about yourself, giving. So, okay, getting back to spicing the marriage up, you need to create things that will break the routine. Go for vacations. Go for dates. Go for dinners. Go out. Go swim together. It could be a leisure walk. Read together. Spend more time together. Get the family involved. She was so wonderful to package some of these things. Initially, I resisted that, my time, my time. But I eventually understood that your spouse doesn't want your money, your car, your house. Your spouse wants you. So you must make time to be available. It's you they want. The time is spent reading a novel together, laughing together, watching a movie, chatting. Those are the key. Those create memories. And those memories are key. Because when there's conflict and you're angry with your spouse, when you look back at the memories, I remember when we did this. I remember it's not the money she's going to remember or the car really. It's the time you spent. And that's one prize thing in this dynamic world. You know how it is working to make ends meet and everything. But that time is very important. And what you do in that time, it must be quality time, must spend well, spend the way that she will enjoy it. And eventually you will enjoy it, truly. If you have that, you will enjoy it. So put all those together and keep recreating it. Get her one flower this day, get her a note this day. I'm not the romantic type, but I had to catch on and learn. That's the truth. She did most of the work teaching me. But I was patient to, when I knew I didn't know, I was patient to now learn. Some people won't know and they will insist that they want to do the old traditional way. And that does not work. That does not work, truly. Because most guys can be so headed with the tradition and they want to just do what they want to do. Because the truth is this, if you put your spouse out there, that's your wife, and you have to really compete for her with other people, you might not win. You might not win. You know how to date her, you know how to do all the romantic, you will not win. So think of it that way. That should challenge you to add something, a little spark, a little spice, a little date. Understudy her, what does she really like, not what you like. Naturally we want to do what we like. We know what we like, we want to do it. And that will not work. That will not score any points. Know her love language and give her an overdose of it. No, that's the truth. Know her love language. If you know a lady that likes sweet talks, sit down there and give her the sweet talks. Not pretending, really flow to satisfy her. There's this saying, if you satisfy your spouse, you eventually get satisfied somehow. You bring out the best in her.
Yeah.
And vice versa, the woman too should put some effort. Marriage is a platform you can never be passive, never. It can't be one-sided.
So to you, marriage, money is just not enough. That's what you're telling me.
It's not enough. It's just a tiny tool, tiny. Because I've seen people marry someone without money, and because of their input in that person's life, the person goes up. And at that point, they won't value money as, it's valuable, but that's not, it's what you do with that money actually. That's what's more important. And the little things.
I often hear that money puts pressure. Men are pressured when they don't have enough money or they have financial problems. So that makes them not to be really available. So what's for the woman, all you have to do is understand this time and keep away. What
yes,
do you think about that?
It's really true. To equate it, money can put pressure, but it's your attitude. We all face different pressures. It doesn't mean we'll just get confused because of that. It starts with how both of you handle things. Have you even discussed your finances? Do you have a budget? Do you have a plan? Have you told your wife what you earn? It's not when you're broke, you tell her. When you're rich, you won't tell her. It doesn't work like that. If you're open, she knows your account details. You even tell her the business that are coming up, business that failed. So you won't need to even convince her. When things don't work and you tell her, she'll say, yes, I know. Because over time, you've proven faithful and transparent. So money can do a whole lot, but it's not the money still. And that should not put so much pressure like that. If both of you learn to work as a team, it shouldn't. You work at your own level. When I married my wife, I didn't have a car. She had a car. She had my mother gave her a car. I didn't have a car. I was going to visit her with Okada. I wasn't ashamed to do that. No, I'm serious. And some of our spouses, people that wanted to get married to her, had cars. One even bought a brand new car and kept it. That she says yes. So you can imagine where she's coming from. Money, and I know her. She's not a money person, luckily. But it's still the way you handle it and pass it across to her. Discuss. Those are things you discuss. And be open. You show the example. Show her your bank account. Show her. She has my ATM. She knows my ATM cards, their pins and all that. She knows my, So when you make it transparent, when pressure comes, this is how we've been now. She will even help you. Women know how to conserve and tap into that. That's a resource. But if you're hiding and covering, That will not get you anywhere. That will now put the real pressure. That will put the real pressure. That's why I look at it. You know.
So to you, there's nothing wrong with, a woman knowing a man's bank account or knowing what the man earns.
No, there's nothing wrong. But I will say this, just like some men are careless, some women are careless, some are spendthrift. They like Ashwebi and all that. So I call it selective exposure. Let me tell you, let's say you earn 200 million. I'm just saying that. You tell the woman that, they've increased my salary. We're earning in millions now. Watch what she will say. If she says, let's go and buy it, she says, you know that this one is not yet. Not expose everything. But if she's accommodating and say, okay, what do you plan to do? You tell her and she agrees, you expose more to her. I mean, you can't be careless. You met someone 1 year, you now expose everything and she blows everything. But no, money is not earned that way. So you do a selective exposure. You check out the person. The same thing with the woman to the man. If you're accounting for the man, you tell her, okay, we got this, and you watch what the man is going to do. If he does well, you now tell her, and they've increased it like that before you now expose everything. It has to be selective, it has to be gradual. You can't just miss on one day and expose all your secrets. I mean, that's not right. There must be common sense to it too. But it's good you reveal that. It's good you reveal.
So that means, but one of the fears some men probably would have is, if my wife knows what I earn, then she's going to be gauging me with that and comparing me with other people. But I think that has to do with, do you know your wife? And trust. Exactly. I think trust has to come in at this point.
Yeah. And both of you should learn to work together because we've handled projects together. My wife is she knows how to say better than me. Me, if I see something I want to buy 3 at once so that I won't have to come back. She'll say, no, let's buy 1. There'll be a different model next time. So both of you learn to work there. You know each other's strength and weakness and you strengthen it. That's just it. You must be exposed, open up. You must open up to your spouse. That way she can help you and you can help her. But if you don't do things together, that's going to be some hurdle to cross. It's going to be
so should somebody feel bad if you feel, I'm just trying to consider a situation where the woman or the man feels he's doing most of the things or he's doing everything, but not receiving. There can be times like that you feel you are putting in, but you're not receiving. How do you feel with a situation like that?
Okay, I understand what you're saying. As I said, marriage can never be one-sided. It shouldn't be one-sided. It wasn't created to be one-sided. But however, we know your spouse can be at a low point where, honestly, he or she cannot put in. But that shouldn't be too long. And even within that, you should see potentials. Love is a language even the blind can understand. So it's not giving, really. You can give of yourself. You can give of your time. You can give of your support. A whole lot. You can see the potentials that this person, though is not producing maybe finances or doesn't even have a work, but the person is with me in person. And it's really yielding her time, her effort constructively, not trying to pull me apart because I'm giving. So it's important to know that too. But however, that shouldn't be for too long because everybody gets weary. Everyone likes a little pat on the back, encouragement. See, there was a time I like gifts. My wife would buy me a recharge card. What's in a recharge card? Really? But I appreciated it. Mm-hmm. So it's in how you do it, and you never lack. You're never left in a situation where you won't have anything to give. It's not possible in marriage. No. It's not possible in marriage. And it depends on what you give. Your time, as I said, your compassion, the person can see the potential that this person actually loves me. It's not about the money. If I'm a billionaire, I give 1 million. That's a tiny fraction. But if someone is earning 20,000, gives you 5,000, that's a sacrifice. You understand? So you can see potentials in it. You can see potentials. Maybe she doesn't have any money. She takes small of the cooking money, hides it to buy you a gift on your birthday. So it's never one-sided. It's never really one-sided, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, does sex really play a big role in marriage? After having your kids, what else do you want to do with that,
Honeymoon begin again now. You see, one thing, I say I'm blessed, thoroughly blessed. I was given, my wife actually loves sex. In fact, when we were discussing before getting married, we had a conversation, said, I hope I like sex. She asked me, Koro Koro. I said, which is this guy? Because I said, of course, and I actually like sex. But her libido is higher than my own. So she knows what she was saying. Because when we actually got into marriage, I now knew that, okay, that's why she asked this question. No, it's quite important. It's not only a covenant. It bonds you together. It relaxes you. It's like a warm embrace, someone embracing you out of this, the pressures in the world and everything. It's re-energized. It does a whole lot. And if you need someone creative in the bedroom, ooh, I told you one of my fears was, how will I be with one person? It has never been, no two sessions are the same. That's how creative she is. And she has taught me to be. She actually taught me a whole lot of things. And that's because I was willing to learn. Some men are not willing to learn. They don't know it. They don't want to learn. And if the woman tries to teach them, they say this woman is, she has started going outside. Instead of looking at the value, what she's bringing in, you can make your house a home, really. Your bedroom, a real palace. If you allow, both of you, your husband, spouse, they will do the right thing. One person, you can't know the same things. It's impossible. And she's gifted in that area. I calm down, land. Now even she can say, I'm trying. And it's a whole lot of things because we are all humans. If your spouse is not getting it from you, where is he or she getting it from? Eventually, she'll be led or he will be led. And it's something, if it's pleasurable, you'll be looking forward to, looking at babies should go, and so I have time, So both people play a part to create what they want. It's not something passive, it's not something wished for, but it comes by discussing it, knowing your strengths and weaknesses, and having an aim, a goal, even in the sexual part. That's how many times a week, how creative, where and where, as we say, your wife should be your girlfriend, should be your sugar mommy. She play all those roles, not you forcing it on her. She will do it willingly. You too should play a sugar daddy, a gigolo, everything. You understand? So because there's actually no sex in heaven, It all happens here. So make the most of it. No, it's the truth. It's the truth. It's really the truth. But my wife played a major role in this because that was part of her love language, and of course, I like sex too. So it helped us. It helped us. But it's a critical role. It's a critical role, and we look forward to enjoying it till we go to heaven.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
So have you ever had to counsel people that even you got to a point that, like, I think these two people should just go their separate ways?
Several. Luckily, we cancel together. So when I'm missing it, which I often do, because I get angry at which nonsense are you talking about? You didn't provide money. You didn't do anything. You say you want fresh soup every day. I'm looking at you going mad or something. The man did not provide any money. He didn't do anything. He doesn't even take care of the children, as in go and help hold them. And he wants fresh soup every day from the woman that is working. I said, and the woman is even discussing it. The woman should just go to their house first and stay 1 week, let the man understand. I mean, some things are so ridiculous. Then my wife will come me that has come there. I said, no, this guy talking nonsense. You're wasting my time. And some go so bizarre that you look at it and say, you hear some stories you won't, severally actually. But we try to calm down. My wife calms me down, then we put them and check, because we've had quite a lot of story that God has engraced us to be able to tell people and lead them the right way. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting because, I hear different things these days, and I wonder, what do we tell our children? How do we tell our female children what to look out for in a man, or how to go about marriage? Can that be anything specific? I mean, to talk about now. I'm talking to you now because you're a man.
Yeah,
I want to advise my daughter now and say, okay, she says, oh, Dad, mommy, I want to get married. What are the things I can tell her to watch out for? Do you by any means have an idea?
Yeah, there are a lot of things to watch out for. And it's a good question you ask, because the woman holds the key. At the point the man is chasing you, you can discover a whole lot and you can control a whole lot. At least you're not going to say yes. It's not the man that's going to say, that kind of thing. But that discovery is not, how do I put it? You must get God involved. I must tell you that. Because we've seen a lot of people pretend. I've seen someone literally go and borrow a car, borrow a house, just to impress a lady. You understand? Then after the something, nothing. Imagine that kind of foundation. So women must be very careful. Some even have on that family and come to want to marry on that one. You're wondering how will women are just put a spray if they're not careful. So the first thing to watch out when the person approaches you, how natural is the person? How natural is he himself? When you ask him questions, does he answer you or just brushes them away? You know, some people just stuck and brush away. Say, where are you working? I did a business. If it's a business, which business do you do? And watch his, communication is not just what you say, the body language. And some women are trained in that, but every woman must be trained in that. When someone is lying, you should, or when there's a flicker, a warning sign, press on that. Maybe not that day, take a note. Because if you marry the wrong person, if you marry some bad guys there, you will suffer it too. So interview the person, whatever date he takes you to, even if he flies you to Paris, where you are there, interview him. What about your family background? I want to see your people. Do you know some people get married without knowing the in-laws and they do not knowing them? Do they have madness in their family? Do they have, all these things are critical. It takes a while. Don't rush to say yes. Don't just say, buy you a car, you say yes. No. Investigate for yourself. Get your parents involved. That's why you can't just go and say, I'm marrying you, yes, without telling your parents. Their blessing is important. Their foresight is also important. Let them meet this person. Meet his own spouse too. And investigate and be sure that's the real spouse. Because I've seen people arrange all manner of arrangements that you'll be wondering, after the marriage, what will you now do? So it's a critical thing. And in fact, we have a strong arm in keeping marriage. We call it love school. That's for singles. We teach them. We don't want them to get married and begin to come for counseling on petty issues. So it's really serious interview. And if the person is unwilling to answer your questions, it's a big minus. Because he won't answer you when he marries you.
Definitely.
So set those questions and ask them in a friendly way. Of course, you won't put it like different, like how much do you earn? And see what the response of the person is. Just have fun, but ask those questions. The family background, the work. If need be, go to where he works sneakily and find out, is he working there? Or is he just joking? Find out, okay, is he a Christian? Where does he, find out those things because, yes, because it's going to affect a whole lot of things. It's going to affect you. You need to be thorough about it. What I heard, the potential of the person, even if it's not working, he has potentials. He's doing something. He's productively engaged. I think that does it. And pray, a lot of prayer. As I said, I prayed, God led me to her. That prayer is important because we can't see beyond what we can see. We cannot. It's just God that helps us to uncover, Yeah. I think there's a whole lot of things to, but you must do that interview. Every date is like interview. Every date. While you're eating the chicken and asking questions and see his response. Someone that is open and plain will answer you. He will make you comfortable, and give it time. Give it time.
Yeah, very true. Wow, that's, there's so much to continue to talk about, there's so much to talk about, really, when you look at
me for 1 minute. Could you excuse me for 1 minute? Yes, just 1 minute, please. What do you want your life to be, and what does he or she want? If you're not headed the same way, there's already conflict. You better stop it there. As we say, a broken engagement is better than a broken marriage. If you're not headed the same way, it cannot work. If you don't have the same value on a couple of things that are key to you, we call it a no-no. A no-no. Yes. There are certain things you can't tolerate. You can't tolerate them. And you are passing it across to your spouse and maybe he's playing lightly about or saying he can tolerate it. It's funny. He's not going to change. People rarely change like that. So you better know that the single lady or man better know that. You see the woman say, I like partying, I like to wear the latest clothes, and that's not value. You begin to watch, those are signals for you to dig deeper and see whether you can really stay with this person. As I look at it, there's no perfect couple as it were, but someone you can work with without putting undue stress, no high maintenance unduly, and have common goal and common vision. That makes it. And then, in fact, that's what brought us together. Me and my wife, we had we're committed to the institution of marriage and we're ready. We actually did not want boyfriend or girlfriend. We knew, both of us knew it right from start, So it helped us fast forward the whole thing, so to say.
Do you think something like an arranged marriage is good?
I don't think so. But some of them work out. But I believe they should meet, even if you arrange it. It depends on what you call arrange, because I actually met my wife in a pastor's office. In fact, he pre-arranged it, so to say, if I'm saying that. He told me that this lady I want you to meet, and we stay in the same community, but I don't met her. Can you imagine? So I must be dull, though. All these years. So he arranged and I saw her. I said, she looks interesting. Okay, let me tell you the scenario so you understand. She called, she talked to me about it. I said, okay, call her. So we called her. She came in, she had not had her bath. She was still tying her, ladies, She came in, no makeup, no nothing. Because she's naturally beautiful, though. She came in, she wasn't afraid, and she was so full of confidence. She came in, greeted both of us, she was courteous. Someone will come and say, who is this? And, begin to, and that could possibly be the end of it. But she came, she was courteous, and all that. So later I called her, I told the pastor to tell her that I want her number through the pastor. Is it all right? And if I could call her? And she said yes. Someone will put wanting the man to climb the mountain to get the number. And some men get frustrated with that because at that point I didn't want girlfriend or boyfriend. I wanted real deal. And I saw her. She was pleasant, and I was moved that she was courteous. She was herself. In fact, a guy drove her to that meeting. A guy drove her in her car, and she came. The way she was dressed came out. I thought she wasn't even shaking and trying to make. And I was really impressed with that. She's confident of herself, and that's good enough. So it's important we do the right thing while as singles. You must have confidence in yourself. You are coming to make the life of your spouse better. You're not coming to take things or he's going to. Knowing that marriage is not the end of the road, though. In fact, it's the beginning. It's the very beginning. It has no fulfillment. It's what both of you do that will make it to be fulfilling. Or the inimical. So it's not the end of the road at all. So you come confident, you come knowing who you are, coming to bless someone else. And in return, you are blessed. That's just the setup in marriage.
Wow. So do you, I know one of the issues these days, I happen to, I'm in the medical field right now, taking some classes. And one of the things I found out or they talk about is the woman, these days is how some of the medications, like maybe the one on high blood pressure and all of those things, can actually reduce a man's activity, sexual activities. Are those things right? And are there ways they can actually improve it?
Yes, unfortunately, the way BP medications are structured, they tend to calm you down. And while doing that, they calm down the male organ. All of them have that side effect, but some are milder, Having said that, there are other drugs that can help cushion it a bit. Supplementary drugs, the Viagras, and all that. But the dilemma is this: as both spouses begin to age, the woman's libido goes higher. No, it actually goes higher. So the man goes lower. So there's a breach. What I counsel people and what I did, my wife's own is already high, so I've not gotten old. A lot of foreplay. You must be skilled in foreplay. In fact, most women are even more satisfied with the foreplay than the real thing. If you don't know about it, you just think it's the no. You do a lot of foreplay, you become skilled in the foreplay. Even with the foreplay, if you do it well, they can actually come. They can actually come. So the foreplay part, and your wife can even school you that these are my G points, so I don't just go keeping everybody, So, and I told you, my wife schooled me. I'm not ashamed to say that, and I learned very well. I'm not becoming a pro. Then, if it's still bad, you can add Viagra, add all that, because this is a job you can't delegate to. This is a job you can't delegate. And her libido goes higher and higher as you get older. And now she has only you. It can potentially be a problem if you don't handle it well, though. True. It can potentially be a problem, but you have to be creative about it. A lot of foreplay and meet frequently.
So the Viagra are okay, because I hear people that say that there are a lot of side effects to that.
Yes, within safety products, there are other less, should I say toxic or less with less side effects. Another thing, the men should learn to confide in their wives and talk about it. Do you understand? Your wife will be more compassionate, more caring, profile solutions even to you to make it, and try and meet more frequently. Because you see, for a man, if you are not able to satisfy a wife or not able to perform in that area, you get depressed actually. You actually get depressed because anytime that comes up, you're already anxious and that worsens the whole circle. But if your wife knows and you're open and you discuss it, she can actually help you. A lot of foreplay, she can help you to get you up and all that, And exercise also helps. A lot of natural remedies too. Both of you can put heads together and really solve it. I know it's an ongoing problem, but you're trying to get solutions. So she'll be more accommodating, So you must discuss it. The beginning is to discuss it, make it open, and play. Allow her put her input and help you through.
Wow, thank you so much you've been very open. Thank you for everything you've said. But can you, in closing, what would you like to leave with us? What would you like to say?
Marriage is fantastic, and it's good you have mixed experiences. It's what you bring in. There's no bed. There's no bed. People say bed of rose. There's no bed. If you come with a mat, you can as well sleep with a mat. That's the reality of it. It's what both of you bring in that causes it that nourishes the relationship and makes it blossom and fruitful. Above all, in conflicts, make sure you understand that your spouse is on the same team with you. Your spouse might have done something bad or something ugly or something wrong, but your spouse is not the enemy. It's not demarcate it. It helps you. In my early conflicts, I was so mad I couldn't distinguish those two and I went overboard. But if you always know that this is my teammate, he made this mistake, he lost this penalty, but it's still my teammate. I mean, it makes you absorb it and look for solutions instead of criticizing and pointing fingers. And always communicate, always talk. Don't just say your mind. Listen to hear the other person's mind. You see, there's a time to speak your mind. There's time to mind what you say. And that distinction can make the whole difference. Communicate. And when you communicate, try and get the feedback that the person understands what you've communicated. And hear the person's mind and also absorb it and integrate it. So both of you can now form a solution of, teamwork. Those things are key because for a long haul, it's not for 1 month, it's not for 10 years, it's not, and that way you begin to understand each other better. Communication, go to the table, give benefit of that and hear the person out. Just whatever you heard about the person. Please communicate. What is this? What happened? And the person responds back. It's okay. Oh, what were you thinking when you did this? It tells you, and always keep the communication channel open. Always keep it open. Always.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, doctor. And I'm surprised that, as a medical doctor, I heard that they're so busy, you don't have time for family. But
I used to do that mistake, but that's a big mistake. Because beyond the practice and all that, you will come back to your family. It's not money they want, I told you. It's not money. So you must integrate that. In fact, if I used to do 3 jobs and all that, in fact, that caused one of our conflicts. So I've learned over a while to balance. I'm still balancing it still, making out time to do the necessary things and show them that they are my priorities, so to say. Because they are. And when you get to this, your spouse, you have. And if you miss that time now, you can't just get to that and say, I want that time. No, it doesn't work that way. There must be inputs now. You must invest in them. Then when that time comes, they will now accommodate you and say, okay, daddy used to be like this. But we are never there. Nobody will be there for you in the future. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything. I really appreciate you taking all this time. And thank you for all you. I believe that many of us are going to learn from this because, actually said, marriage is not, there's no perfect marriage. And no one alive can say, oh, I have the best marriage because it is a continuous journey.
Yes, it is.
So anyway, I'm sure you've heard a lot from him. And thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you once again.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. So,
thank you.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. And until my next guest, bye for now.
Bye-bye.